NASA's SpaceX Crew-9 mission has successfully returned to Earth after an extended science expedition aboard the International Space Station ISS. The SpaceX Dragon spacecraft carrying NASA astronauts Nick Hague, Sunita Williams, Butch Wilmore and Roscosmos cosmonaut Aleksandr Gorbunov splashed down in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida at 5:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on March 18, 2025. This marked a significant milestone in NASA's Commercial Crew program, showcasing the ongoing partnership between the agency and SpaceX in facilitating human spaceflight. Upon their return, NASA's acting administrator Janet Petro expressed her enthusiasm for the crew's homecoming, emphasizing the importance of their mission. "We are thrilled to have Suni, Butch, Nick and Aleksandr home after their months-long mission conducting vital science technology demonstrations and maintenance aboard the International Space Station," she stated. Petro also highlighted the efforts made to accelerate the mission timeline, noting that the crew's return was a month earlier than initially planned, a decision made in response to directives from the Trump administration. The Crew-9 astronauts had an impressive mission duration, with Williams and Wilmore spending 286 days in space and completing over 4,500 orbits around Earth. Hague and Gorbunov logged 171 days in space with 2,736 orbits. Their time aboard the ISS was marked not only by extensive scientific research, over 150 unique experiments, but also by significant technological advancements. Williams set a new record for female astronauts with 62 hours and 6 minutes spent in spacewalks, underscoring the critical role of women in space exploration. Throughout their mission, the Crew-9 team engaged in a variety of scientific inquiries, including studies on plant growth, the effects of microgravity on stem cells, and the survival of microorganisms in outer space. Their work contributes to NASA's long-term goals of preparing for future human exploration of the Moon and Mars. The mission also involved 2 critical spacewalks, during which Williams and her colleagues performed maintenance and upgrades to the ISS, demonstrating the ongoing need for hands-on work in maintaining the station's infrastructure. The Crew-9 mission was notable for its collaboration with Boeing, as Wilmore and Williams were initially intended to return to Earth on the Boeing Starliner spacecraft. However, due to technical issues, their return was delayed, resulting in an extended stay aboard the ISS. This situation reflects the complexities and challenges of modern space missions, where technical difficulties can necessitate rapid changes to mission plans. As the astronauts prepare to reunite with their families, the spacecraft that brought them home, named Freedom, will undergo inspection and refurbishment at SpaceX's facilities in Florida. This mission is part of a larger strategy where ongoing missions are designed to enhance scientific understanding and pave the way for future human endeavors beyond Earth. Just days after Crew-9's return, NASA's SpaceX Crew-10 launched, further ensuring the continuous human presence aboard the ISS and the advancement of space research. The success of the Crew-9 mission solidifies the importance of international cooperation in space exploration and sets the stage for future missions that aim to deepen our understanding of life beyond our planet. As NASA continues to push boundaries, the collaboration with private companies like SpaceX will be integral to achieving the ambitious goals of lunar and Martian exploration in the coming years. NASA's SpaceX Crew-9 mission concluded successfully on March 18, 2025. As 4 astronauts returned to Earth after an extensive science expedition aboard the International Space Station ISS. The Crew-9 team, consisting of NASA astronauts Nick Hague, Sunita Williams, Butch Wilmore and Roscosmos cosmonaut Aleksandr Gorbunov, safely splashed down in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida, marking a significant milestone in NASA's ongoing efforts to expand human presence in space. The Crew-9 spacecraft, named Freedom, re-entered the Earth's atmosphere and made contact with the water at 5:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. SpaceX recovery vessels were on hand to retrieve the crew and their spacecraft, which will now undergo inspection and refurbishment for future missions. After a brief recovery period, the astronauts are expected to fly to NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston, where they will be reunited with their families. Acting NASA Administrator Janet Petro expressed her excitement at the crew's safe return. emphasizing the collaboration between NASA and SpaceX to meet a challenging timeline. We are thrilled to have Suni, Butch, Nick and Aleksandr home after their months-long mission conducting vital science technology demonstrations and maintenance aboard the International Space Station, she stated. The mission was expedited at the direction of the Trump administration, which sought to adjust the schedule to bring the crew home earlier than initially planned. The journey began on September 28, 2024 when Hague and Gorbunov launched aboard a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, while Williams and Wilmore took to the skies aboard Boeing's Starliner spacecraft on June 5, 2024. Initially intended for a shorter stay, the mission extended significantly. Williams and Wilmore spent 286 days in space, while Hague and Gorbunov spent 171 days due to adjustments necessitated by technical issues with the Starliner. Throughout their time aboard, the SpaceX Crew-9 participated in over 150 scientific experiments and technology demonstrations, logging more than 900 hours of research. Their work included studies on plant growth, the potential use of stem cell technology for various medical conditions, and the deployment of the first wooden satellite. Notably, Williams set a record for total spacewalking time by a female astronaut with 62 hours and 6 minutes spent outside the station, further solidifying her legacy in space exploration. In the broader context, the Crew-9 mission represents a pivotal component of NASA's Commercial Crew program, which aims to provide safe and reliable transportation to and from low Earth orbit. This mission not only enhances research capabilities aboard the ISS but also prepares for humanity's future exploration of the Moon and Mars. The return of Crew-9 also coincided with the recent arrival of Crew-10, which docked with the ISS just days before. This new mission, led by NASA astronaut and McLean, will carry out over 200 scientific experiments during its duration, continuing the momentum of research and discovery in the unique microgravity environment. As NASA continues to leverage partnerships with commercial entities like SpaceX and Boeing, the future of human spaceflight looks promising. The success of Crew-9 underscores the potential for collaborative efforts to advance scientific knowledge and prepare for deeper space exploration. As we look ahead, the upcoming missions promise to build upon this foundation, pushing the limits of our understanding of space and its possibilities for humanity. In a remarkable return to Earth, NASA astronauts Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore, along with their fellow crew members Nick Hague and Aleksandr Gorbunov, concluded their extended mission aboard the International Space Station ISS on March 18, 2025. Their SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule splashed down safely in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida, marking the end of a journey that initially aimed for just 8 days but stretched into an arduous 9-month odyssey due to unexpected technical challenges. The Crew-9 mission began with high hopes when Williams and Wilmore launched aboard Boeing's Starliner spacecraft on June 5, 2024. However, a series of propulsion issues and helium leaks rendered the Starliner unsafe for their return, forcing NASA to send it back uncrewed in September 2024. Williams and Wilmore were subsequently reassigned to the Crew-9 mission, where they joined Hague and Gorbunov to continue their work aboard the ISS. Upon their return, Williams reflected on the challenges faced during their extended stay, highlighting the uncertainty for their families back home. The hardest part is having the folks on the ground not know exactly when we're coming back. It's been a roller coaster for them, probably more so than for us, she stated in a prior interview. Their situation sparked political discourse in the United States, with former President Donald Trump criticizing the timeline for their return and suggesting that political tensions influenced their extended stay, claims NASA dismissed as unfounded. At 5:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, the Crew Dragon capsule successfully splashed down, and the astronauts were greeted by a recovery team that swiftly assisted them out of the capsule and onto a waiting ship. "What a ride! I see a capsule full of grins ear to ear," said Commander Nick Hague, capturing the relief and joy of the crew's return. Following their recovery, the astronauts were set to undergo routine medical checks before heading to NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston to reunite with their families. The mission's achievements were significant, with the Crew-9 crew conducting over 150 unique scientific experiments, logging more than 900 hours of research. Williams set a record for the most spacewalk time by a female astronaut, completing 62 hours across 9 spacewalks. The mission also included groundbreaking research on plant growth and the utilization of stem cell technology to address various health conditions, showcasing the ongoing contributions of the ISS to scientific understanding. As news of their safe return spread, there was an outpouring of support and admiration from across the globe, particularly from India, where Williams is celebrated as a national icon. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed pride in her achievements and extended an invitation for her to visit India upon her return. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee called for Williams to be honoured with the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian award, recognizing her perseverance and dedication in the face of adversity. In a touching moment, celebrations erupted in Williams' ancestral village of Julasan, Gujarat, where locals performed rituals and prayers for her safe return. The community's joy reflected a deep-rooted connection to her journey and the pride they feel in her accomplishments. "Your return is more than a homecoming, it is a historic triumph of perseverance," remarked Tamil Nadu Governor R.N. Ravi, emphasizing the significance of Williams' journey. This mission not only underscored the challenges and triumphs of human space exploration but also highlighted the collaborative spirit of international space efforts exemplified by the partnership between NASA and SpaceX. As the world looks forward to future missions and discoveries, the successful return of Crew-9 serves as a testament to the resilience of astronauts and the extraordinary capabilities of modern space technology. NASA's SpaceX Crew-9 has made a triumphant return to Earth after an extended mission aboard the International Space Station ISS. A journey that has highlighted both the remarkable capabilities of modern space travel and the complexities involved in long-duration space missions. The crew of 4, which included NASA astronauts Nick Hague, Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore, along with Roscosmos cosmonaut Aleksandr Gorbunov, splashed down off the Florida coast on March 18, 2025 after a mission that turned out to be far longer than originally anticipated. The Crew-9 mission, initially intended as a commercial crew rotation, evolved into an extensive scientific expedition that lasted several months. The astronauts returned at 5:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, greeted by recovery teams from SpaceX. Following their retrieval, the crew will head to NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston to reunite with their families. "We are thrilled to have Suni, Butch, Nick and Alexander home after their months-long mission conducting vital science technology demonstrations and maintenance aboard the International Space Station," said NASA Acting Administrator Janet Petro. The return was marked by significant logistical challenges. Williams and Wilmore had originally arrived at the ISS in June 2024, anticipating a short 8-day mission. However, mechanical issues with Boeing's Starliner spacecraft delayed their return for an additional 9 months. The decision to keep them aboard was not made lightly. Boeing and NASA conducted various tests to ensure the safety of all personnel involved. Ultimately, in a shift that underscores the unpredictable nature of space missions, the Starliner returned to Earth unmanned, leaving Williams and Wilmore to continue their work on the ISS alongside Hague and Gorbunov. Throughout their extended stay, the Crew-9 astronauts contributed to more than 150 unique scientific experiments and technology demonstrations, logging over 900 hours of research time. Their efforts ranged from studying plant growth and potential therapeutic applications of stem cells to testing new lighting systems aimed at maintaining astronauts' circadian rhythms. Williams in particular made history with her spacewalks, setting a record for the most cumulative spacewalk time by a female astronaut, totaling over 62 hours. One of the notable projects supported by the ISS National Laboratory during their mission involved protein crystallization studies aimed at improving treatments for diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. The microgravity environment of the ISS allows for the growth of better-ordered crystals, which can lead to more effective therapeutic compounds. Additionally, the crew engaged in student-led experiments emphasizing the importance of fostering the next generation of scientists and explorers. As the Crew-9 mission concludes, its implications extend beyond the immediate achievements aboard the ISS. The mission is a part of NASA's ongoing Commercial Crew program, which aims to create a reliable and cost-effective transportation system for astronauts traveling to and from the ISS. The insights gained from this mission will inform future endeavors, particularly as NASA sets its sights on human exploration of the Moon and Mars. Looking ahead, the return of Crew-9 coincides with the arrival of NASA's SpaceX Crew-10, which docked with the ISS just days before Crew-9's return. This overlap underscores the dynamic nature of space operations, where multiple missions can be conducted simultaneously to maximize research and exploration opportunities as the astronauts adapt back to life on Earth. The potential long-term impacts of their extended stay in microgravity will be closely monitored. Previous studies have shown that extended periods in space can lead to challenges such as bone density loss, muscle atrophy, and changes in vision. NASA continues to research the physical and psychological effects of space travel to better prepare future crews for long-duration missions, particularly those aimed at the Moon and Mars. In conclusion, the return of NASA's Crew-9 marks a significant milestone in the evolving landscape of human spaceflight. The successful execution of this mission demonstrates the effectiveness of international collaboration in space exploration and sets the stage for future scientific endeavors in low Earth orbit and beyond. As we look to the stars, the lessons learned from Crew-9 will undoubtedly play a pivotal role in shaping the future of space exploration. NASA's Mars rover Curiosity has recently made significant strides in its exploration of the Red Planet, particularly during its recent mission at the Humber Park outcrop, where the team playfully likened the geological features to a pie. This whimsical comparison coincided with Pi Day, celebrated on March 14, 2025, back on Earth. As the rover reached this intriguing outcrop on Sol 4480 or Martian Day 4480, team members expressed enthusiasm for the scientific discoveries that lay ahead. Curiosity's scientific instruments were put to the test as they examined the various rock structures at Humber Park. The rover's Mars hand lens imager Molly captured detailed images of three key targets: Yerba Buena Ridge, which showcased structural features, Sepulveda Pass, which presented intriguing textures, and South Fork, where the alpha particle X-ray spectrometer APXS was used to analyze the clearest bedrock. In addition, the ChemCam instrument analyzed the chemistry of different rock textures, providing insights into the geological history of the Martian surface. The rover's Mastcam further contributed to the mission by creating stereo mosaics of the Humber Park outcrop, ensuring a comprehensive visual record of the area. Meanwhile, environmental observations collected by the rover will contribute to understanding the Martian atmosphere, monitoring dust levels and detecting clouds and dust devils, vital for future explorations. In parallel to Curiosity's endeavors, new research has emerged suggesting the potential for liquid water beneath the Martian surface, a finding that could have profound implications for the possibility of life on Mars. Scientists Ikuo Katayama and Yuya Akamatsu have analyzed seismic data from NASA's InSight lander, which has been operational since 2018. Their study indicates that the Martian crust may contain water-filled cracks, contradicting prior assumptions that the subsurface was dry. If liquid water exists on Mars, the presence of microbial activity is possible, Katayama stated, highlighting the significance of these findings in the ongoing search for extraterrestrial life. The team's interpretation of seismic waves has provided crucial insights into the Martian geological structure. By measuring the velocity of seismic waves, researchers can deduce the density and composition of subsurface materials. The presence of a boundary at 10 km depth, previously thought to indicate a transition in the porosity or chemical composition, may in fact signify a shift from dry to wet conditions. If confirmed, this could reshape our understanding of Mars as a potentially habitable environment, adding to the excitement surrounding Mars exploration. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk has made bold claims regarding human expeditions to the planet. In a recent interview, Musk asserted that SpaceX aims to send not only astronauts but also civilians to Mars within the next 20 to 30 years. This ambitious timeline aligns with the company's ongoing development of the Starship spacecraft, designed to facilitate interplanetary travel. Musk's comments come in the wake of a successful SpaceX mission that returned NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams to Earth after a challenging tenure aboard the International Space Station. The successful splashdown of the Crew Dragon capsule illustrates SpaceX's growing capabilities in human spaceflight, further bolstering the prospect of future missions to Mars. As NASA's Curiosity rover continues to unveil the secrets of the Martian landscape and as SpaceX pushes the boundaries of human exploration, the next few decades promise to be pivotal in our quest to understand the Red Planet. With the potential for water and life lurking beneath its surface and plans for human colonization on the horizon, Mars remains a focal point of intrigue and ambition in the field of space exploration. In a remarkable achievement for lunar exploration, Firefly Aerospace's Blue Ghost Mission 1 has successfully concluded its groundbreaking journey on the Moon, providing NASA with vital scientific data and stunning visual captures from the lunar surface. The mission, which lasted from March 2 to March 16, 2025, was an integral part of NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services (CLPS) initiative designed to foster partnerships with private companies and advance lunar research. The Blue Ghost lander touched down near Mons La Trail in the Mare Crisium region, delivering 10 NASA science and technology payloads. These instruments were tasked with a variety of experiments, including drilling into the Moon's surface and capturing high-definition images of celestial events. Among the mission's highlights was the collection of breathtaking imagery, including the first high-definition sunset on the Moon featuring Earth and Venus in the backdrop. These images not only possess aesthetic value but also stand to contribute significantly to scientific understanding, particularly regarding the phenomenon known as lunar horizon glow, first documented during the Apollo 17 mission in 1972. Joel Kearns, NASA's Deputy Associate Administrator for Exploration Science Mission Directorate, emphasized the scientific importance of the sunset images. These are the first high-definition images taken of the sun going down and then going into darkness at the horizon, he stated during a press conference. They are beautiful. But I know there are a bunch of folks looking at them now that study the Moon. Now it's time for the specialists to examine it and see what conclusions they can draw. Throughout its mission, the Blue Ghost lander transmitted an impressive 119 gigabytes of data back to Earth, with 51 gigabytes dedicated to science and technology. This data will not only aid in future lunar missions but also enhance our understanding of the Moon's environment. Nikki Fox, Associate Administrator of the Science Mission Directorate, remarked, "Firefly's Blue Ghost Mission 1 marks the longest surface-duration commercial mission on the Moon to date, collecting extraordinary science data that will benefit humanity for decades to come." The payloads operated successfully, with many achieving historic firsts. For instance, the lunar instrumentation for subsurface thermal exploration with Rapidity Lister became the deepest robotic planetary subsurface thermal probe, while the lunar GNSS receiver experiment successfully tracked global navigation satellite system signals from the Moon's surface. Such advancements are crucial for future navigation systems, potentially extending to Mars missions. Despite the mission's success, the Blue Ghost lander fell silent as it entered the lunar night, which presents extreme cold conditions. Firefly Aerospace has indicated it may attempt to re-establish contact with the lander in early April, although skepticism surrounds the likelihood of a successful reboot after such harsh conditions. This mission marks a significant milestone in private lunar exploration, showcasing the capabilities of commercial partnerships in advancing scientific knowledge. With 5 vendors now contracted to deliver more than 50 instruments to various lunar locations, including the South Pole and the Moon's far side, the momentum for lunar exploration continues to build. As NASA prepares for its Artemis mission aimed at returning humans to the Moon by 2027. The data collected from the Blue Ghost mission will undoubtedly inform strategies for future long-duration lunar operations. In conclusion, the Blue Ghost Mission 1 not only highlights the potential of commercial ventures in space exploration but also serves as a stepping stone toward a broader understanding of our closest celestial neighbor. As scientists delve into the data and images captured during this mission, the implications for both lunar and Martian exploration remain profound, promising exciting developments in the years to come.